everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Silent Podcast, where we're anything but silent. Today, I'm joined by my alliance member, my co-host, Jason. Jason, how are you?
What's going on, Sasha? I'm doing really well. I just got back from seeing The Black Widow in a movie theater. The first time I saw a movie in a theater since Bad Boys 3
Oh my God.
January. So it's been a while. So I'm pumped after just watching the episode again and excited to talk to you about it.
Yeah, so you're just getting like strategy fights like this whole day is what you're telling me because you're doing that. Now you're getting this. We love it. And before we go into the episodes, we obviously missed last week. Jason and I both were on vacation living our best lives. So we'll be covering episodes 6 and 7 today, but really mostly 7. We're going to touch quickly on episode 6 about what happened. So that's kind of the format of today. We're very sad about both the boots. I feel like we're really getting screwed on these pre-merge like big personalities leaving us. What do you think, Jason? Like, are you okay with these boots? Because I'm pissed.
Oh, I'm pissed. It's breaking my heart the last few weeks. We're losing people who I've been cheering for that I thought had a chance to go deep into this game. I was really upset in the last episode and think it was because of this surprising tribe swap.
Yeah.
And I was just really sad to see Dino go. I know we're going to talk about it more in a few minutes, but I thought he played a great game in the time he was out there. And tonight's episode just made me sad the whole time.
Yeah, so obscured man, for real. But yeah, so let's get into it. We start the episode with like right after the last tribal council for episode 5. And, we're getting that Santony now hates Nicole, which like, I love it and I want that, but I'm still very surprised as to why that happened. And then it turns out they're still pissed about the machete, which does come into play a little bit later, but they're still pissed about that. And then Warda, I feel like, is the big kind of story out of this piece where she's on a revenge tour, Jason. Like, what are you thinking about it? Because to me, this is very much a theme for episode 6 and 7.
I agree. Warda is giving me major Natalie Anderson, San Wandel survives. She is out to get revenge for them voting out Carla like Natalie did for Jeremy, and I am living for it. I love this version of Warda, and I hope she continues on her war path, pun intended, and takes out everyone.
Yes. I was like, Warda, at this point, I will say, I was like, Warda, like, why? I need you to like get a little bit over it. But I agree with you. I think episode 7 really solidified it for me where I was like, oh, I like this because I feel like she's really taking the game into her own hands versus as like things were happening to her. Versus this, she's really saying, no, this is my ally. You screwed me. Like, I'm coming for you one way or the other. So I really like that too. And I think currently she's against Anila, Santony as well. Like those kind of seem to be on her hit list. Chappie's as well. She's dragging. And then that's kind of it. And then we go pretty quickly into the challenge. So Zamba is just the engine that cannot. Like, they just cannot get it going. Just couldn't do it. And then, Jason, our Baywatch Chappies is here.
He saved the day. Chappies could be in the Olympics coming in a few weeks. He is such a good swimmer. He has such stamina. And I watched this episode when I was on vacation, visiting my family at my parents' house. And my mom was reading her book when I was watching Survivor South Africa, and Chappie's Baywatch moment caught her attention. She said, wow, who is that guy? Why does he have to save them? She thought he was the tribe captain, not knowing anything about Survivor, but because he was saving the day time after time, really putting his tribe on his back. And I was just very impressed. I thought it really made me happy for him that he's saving the day. He's getting that hero moment. And he's showing how good of a person he is because he's not saying, I saved you, now you owe me. It was not quid pro quo for him. And I thought it showed another layer of his personality.
Yes, to me, that was the biggest piece, especially since what's going on, right? The edit before him where they were like, you don't listen to us. You're pretty chauvinistic. You're not, seeing women as equal, all of these things, right? That Warda, and not just Warda, but everyone was saying about him and Paul, but really him also now that he's the only one here. And for him, to me, it was a 180. where he was like, no, I just really care about these people. And I, especially him and Santony, because Anila too, like he saved him. So to me, Chappies was just kind of in the water as like the production, like crew at that point, where I was like, oh, you're just like production where you're just kind of letting these people go through on literally, yeah, on his back and helping them. I also appreciated how nice he was to Santony after, where Santony was distraught. You can tell she's a gamer. This is not how she wants to come off ever in life. And he was hyping her up. He's like, it's okay, it happens. Like, here we are. So, and the last thing I will say, Warda had a little, not 180, like a 90-degree, I feel like, change a little bit about him, where she said, I don't like him, but this is a hero moment for him. Yeah. This is, and again, she felt, to me, it sounded very genuine. Jason, what about you?
I agree. And she saw another side of him. And even though she was upset at Chappies for voting out Carla and the past challenge where he was misogynistic and talking down to her, she let go of it because she saw like who he is on the inside and what he was doing to help their tribe and lift them up. And it made her like him enough. She still wants to vote him out, but in that moment, she was okay with him.
Yeah, and I think he has enough charm that if he really needed to, I think he could kind of, him and Santony, I think, could have figured something else out if they needed to. But, you know, doesn't matter. There's a tribe swap coming. And then I also wanted to highlight the machete coming back and the food coming back, where Dino wanted to go over again. But turns out, you know, Vuna, orange supremacy, again, really wanted, you know, I think just out of the goodness of their hearts, wanted to give the machete back, right? Because I think that's what Dino said, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I've been noticing these different like nuggets of kindness. I think it's a largely impacted by the pandemic, and that people are wanting to be more empathetic. They want to boost each other up. They all know how hard the last year has been. And they're just being nice to each other. And we're seeing it episode after episode. And it is unprecedented. Never do we see tribes be so nice to each other and want to help each other out and give them partial rewards. And it's just surprising.
Yeah, I very much agree. Where, again, I'm not a Survivor historian. If any of you are, just let us know. You know, has this happened before where, you know, out of just the goodness of their heart, they're like, not only are we going to, like, we stole from you, and we're going to, you know, when you're returning a dish to someone, you like want to put some food in it or something back in it as like a thank you. To me, it was very much that moment. And Marisha, you know, are like, are y'all happy now? Here you go. And there was food in there, which I know, Zamba really, really appreciated. And I think they needed that a little bit. So I thought that was a really nice moment. Do you think if Dino would have gone over, that would have helped his case at the end of this episode?
No.
Right.
I think the target on his back is already big enough, and they would have probably used it as another reason to vote him out.
Yeah. And our girl, Anisu, again, clocks in. She's like, this guy, Dino, wanted to go over, but absolutely not. And I'm so glad he isn't going over. And then we get to, I feel like, the biggest meat of this episode, another tribe swap. Were you, like, surprised? Tell me.
I felt like I was driving a car and pulled the emergency brake. I instantly jumped up, was so surprised, and I texted you in the moment.
Yes.
Oh my God, there's another tribe swap. Watch out. I never saw this coming, and just want to give a big shout out to production for coming up with this in the middle of an episode to not only blindside all of the viewers, but especially the castaways. And I don't think any of them saw this coming. And it really made them all scramble. And I love seeing them scramble and form these emergency alliances. And we really saw that as the episode progressed.
Yes, that. And I also think that, you know, I don't know about you, Jason, but I am kind of like getting a little like over the straightforward edit where, you know, we're like, oh, Dino's this. And then Dino ends up getting voted out. Kian is this. Kian gets voted out, right? So this was a one kind of moment where the production blindsided us, and I like that. I need that sometimes. So I love this. I also liked how they did it, right? You had to pick a little color, and then Chappies, I think, was really good about hiding what color he was. So I like that they were kind of playing with it a little.
And this is something they've done in the past. In a previous season, they gave them the eggs full of paint and they had to smash it on their shirt. So whatever they were wearing was just covered in the paint and ruined for the rest of the season. So I like this way. They just put it on their faces. They could wash it off and you weren't seeing it 20 days from now.
Yeah. And I wonder if like that kind of would paint a target on you, right? Like if this like Vuna 2.0, 1.0, 3.0, whatever. And then like when you and I maybe meet at the merge and then you and I are talking and you're trying to maybe build an alliance with me, but I'm looking at your shirt, the paint that's left over. And I, in my mind, I'm like, nah, I can't trust him. Like he's Zamba strong, or whatever. So I can see as like a subliminal almost strategy that you can get screwed over. So this is cute. I really liked it. I want one of those little paint things just for back here maybe. And then, they dropped their buffs. The new Zamba 3.0 is Tyson, Dino, Kieran, Kian, Santini, Warda, and Anila, which pretty strong tribe, I thought. And I feel like, again, our faves are now on Zamba. And then Vuna is Marisha, Nisu, Amy, Rainier, Sean, Chappies, and Nicole, which I was like, this tribe can go to tribal council and I'll be fine.
I felt the exact same way. I was cheering for Zamba so hard because we love them. Other than Adesu being on Vuna, I was okay with any of them going home.
Agreed, right? And I like giggled again where I was like, how did that happen? All my faves are on one tribe. But again, Zamba just cannot get it together. Where I literally, did you hear Smash and was it Rainier? I don't know who he was talking to. Just talking about make it look real. When the when the immunity challenge started, they were all fighting each other.
It was Rainier. And it shows how Rainier and Smash really are brothers since day one. They are thick as thieves in this game.
Yeah, I was very surprised because I didn't explain the challenge, but the challenge was really you had to, take a basketball or whatever, floating ball, and then, in the water and then dunk it in your basket, which we've seen different versions of this on many survivors. But I, again, have never seen such blatant like cheating, right? Almost, because to me, Smash can take 2 Rainiers on, and I was like, come on, like don't make it look so easy. And then I think at a certain point, Smash does like pull away and try to get the ball, but again, not good enough. Vuna supremacy, orange supremacy goes again. Wendell might be so confused because we know that he did not like that color. And then, they win tarp, which I thought was really nice that both get it, even though they thought it was food.
And a much needed reward.
Yes. Very much that. And then Smash gets chosen to go to Immunity Island where he's playing cornhole. Like, you went to college, you were in a frat, I was in a sorority. Like, would you be good at cornhole?
I think I am good at cornhole. Ooh. I don't know if I could compete in the national cornhole tournament. So that was on ESPN last week. Or with the timer going down, that would make me nervous. I used to always be really slow and relax and go at my own pace. And I think seeing the sand drip activated Smash's nerves.
Yeah, I would say because he talked about playing basketball and stuff like that, but getting 5 bags in is not a joke. I think I usually get it on the board, but I cannot like get the hole in one. There's no way that was happening. So poor guy, the prize was you get 2 votes or no vote. And poor guy got no votes. So here we are. And you're like, no dice, but at least he's safe, which he needed. You can tell. And then we go to Zamba where, Dino feels like he's on the out. He's really trying and, trying to not be old Dino, not get paranoid. But unfortunately, he did need to get paranoid because Warda is now kind of in power with Kieran and Tyson being back. And go ahead.
I was going to say this is when I started getting nervous in the episode for our girl Santini because Warda has a bone to pick with her. And knowing that Santini had an idol, I felt okay, but I was still really nervous. And I was hoping that Dino would try to do a couple different moves and maybe turn the votes on and identify another target and maybe turn on Keon even, if that meant him staying another few days.
Which is what Keon did, right? Or was trying to do in the next episode. But I agree. I feel like Dina is smarter than that. At least what the edit showed, I will say. Why couldn't he get Santini on his side? And I mean, I'm assuming he knew that Anila won't have a vote. So, Santini, him, Kian, and who else? Sean is on the other tribe. Yeah.
Maybe Kieran.
And maybe Kieran. Yeah. Some get something going. At least try to have those conversations. But it very much felt like, oh, shucks. Here we are.
But the other exciting thing that happened after the tribe swap was Tyson finding another idol.
Oh my God.
With Santini there, the idol queen, knowing where all the idols are, even though she didn't find it, she is now bonded with Tyson and Kieran because she knows Tyson has an idol, and that makes her gives her another layer of safety, I think.
Yeah. So this is where I didn't catch it, or maybe I got confused, where I heard Tyson say, oh, now that they know about my idol, I want to take him out. But I don't know if he was talking about Kieran or Santini. So that was a different part. But either way, I agree, where Tyson really, to me, felt pretty sincere that he was saying, I'm indebted to you. You now help me find 2 idols. And like the flip side of Santini, which is what I felt like, where she was like, how can I be so dumb that I did not realize that these people, like, I told him about that and there isn't going to be one on mine. Why didn't I check? Because it seemed like pretty easy to find. Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. They're starving. They're not sleeping well. Maybe she thought someone else found it.
Yeah. Either way, I was like, oh, I just wanted Santini to have that idol so bad. But here we are. It's okay, Santini. And yeah, again, I think, I think Tyson felt like Kieran is a liability because he knew about his idol, but I'm not 100% sure. But Tyson did have a confessional about being a little stressed that other people know about his idols. And then we go to Tribal, where we get the Smash v Varda fight about Carla being out. I was annoyed, but I feel like I was on Smash's side, Jason. Where are you landing here?
I think I'm leaning towards Smash. I think the two of them just really don't get along.
Yes.
Period. And they're looking for reasons to dislike each other. I'm just waiting for Smash to call out Warda's cooking and use that as the reason why he doesn't like her, because we saw Paul say that, and we've seen other people say that. I feel, while I resonate with Smash's argument, I think Warda is in the right, because she is accusing him stronger. She's staying strong in her arguments. She said, I'm not accusing you. I am telling you this is what you did. And I would, based on their different arguments, I would vote with Warda. Did she sway you, or would you stay with Smash?
Yeah, I mean, in my notes, I literally put Varda needs to get over it. Like, doesn't she need Smash? ? At that point. Like, I think episode 7, I will say I changed. But in that moment, I was like, it's really weird to hold such a big grudge when you did vote against him too. It's not like you were like, oh, we're BFFs and then he screwed you. Like, to me, it was almost frustration about Chappies and Paul taken out on Smash because he was the only one like kind of left from that, the betrayers, because her and Santini kind of squashed it as well.
No, I hear what you're saying. I think that's a good point. I think the episode 7 is clouding my perspective on their feud. And also, just once I realized that Warda is playing this Natalie Anderson revenge tour, I'm leaning towards her because I'm team Natalie every day.
Of course. Period. And I will say, I want to give, some like kudos to Santini as well, because she was able to smooth stuff out again with her team, with her old team. So Vuna 1.0 to say, like, let's just come together and get Dino out. And kudos to Tyson as well, because I think he's another one that noticed that, like, oh, we need Santini currently, and like, we can't mess that up right now. Not to skip ahead in Tribal Council,
but we can go to the end of it when Santini played her idol.
Yes.
And I stand strong that I think Santini made the right decision. She heard her name. Anything could happen. It's a new tribe. You better guarantee you're going to be there tomorrow than go home with an idol in your pocket. And I think she did play it right.
Yeah. I also actually agree with you where one, we don't want her going home when she has the location of an idol. That's number one. And secondly, you trust Varda, but you can still be cautious, right? And you
Mhm.
should still be smart about your own game because you can't blindly trust someone when just in case they do flip on you. It's Survivor. Anything can happen. So I agree with you. I thought it was cool. I did you think that there'd be more fanfare? Because she like just pulled it out of tribal. And I just feel like it was so chill how she did it. And no one was like, oh my God, nothing.
I agree. I was surprised. I thought it would get a bigger reaction out of them. The only
Yes.
reason why maybe it didn't is because it's happened before in Survivor South Africa. And so
Oh, I see what
because a
you're
lot of
saying.
them are fans, they're like, oh, it again. And it didn't
Yeah.
blindside them as much. I also think another reason for Santini to play her idol was because they were voting for Dino. And Dino
Mm-hmm.
is sneaky, sneaky. He could easily have an advantage that could nullify
Oh,
the votes
that's
against
also
him.
true. Yes.
Because that's the type of player he is. He was always looking, and I thought it was hedging her bets and guaranteeing her safety, even
Yep.
though she didn't get the majority of the votes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it was necessarily a waste. Anytime your name's out, just be safe.
Totally.
But yes, turned out she didn't need it, of course, where the vote was, I think, yeah, 2 to whatever. Dino's out, unfortunately. Dino was such a great player, such a
Yeah.
good personality, I felt like. So I feel like these pre-merge boots need to come back. All of them. I liked everyone.
I agree. I really enjoyed what Dino brought to this season. He was there as a fan, doing his best, looking for advantages, looking for idols, making alliances, even winning competitions and losing
Yeah.
competitions. I think he got the full experience.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would have made the merge and gone farther because he is
Yes.
a gamer. He's there to strategize. And I wish he would have been given more opportunities. Like many other pre-mergers, like you said, I think this cast was excellent.
Yeah, always. Oh, I like can't even remember who got voted out first, but I was like, besides the first vote, I can remember every single person, and that's huge.
Well, it was the big trend of voting out people, white guys with abs on reality TV.
Yep.
It's international.
Yeah, we love it. We need it. It's about time. We're being blessed. And then yeah, we go into episode 7, which I think was a really fun episode where again, we're now back. Tyson is very happy. He's like, thank God things went the right way. And he is now on the revenge tour. But who is Tyson revenge like against?
I was thinking the same thing. I wrote in my notes, this is my moment. It's now time for revenge. But who? Question mark. I think it's just that
Yeah.
he's there. They did vote for him 2 episodes ago. So
Got
he
it.
has
Yeah.
that in the back of his mind. He is a target. And I
Mhm.
think every vote that goes his way is another
Yes.
step towards him getting to the end.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with that. And I think he does hold not now that you say that have a lot of issues with old Vuna
Mhm.
2.0, the second version of it. So I could see it. And I don't know, like I said, I think Santini like needs to get something going because I'm afraid that otherwise she might be in trouble. But her and Chappies need to just come back together.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then Santini is talking about, her idol, how she was scared. I appreciated her bringing it up straight away and they talk through it.
Mhm.
Anila also is now sharing. Funny because maybe he manifested it. I don't know. But Anila is sharing currently, he does not, everyone, but that he has 2 votes instead of his no vote. And Varda, is saying, fine, you're still going to keep the target on you and you're going to keep having the target on your back until I'm done with you, which is what a queen. Like, what a lady.
Oh, I agree. And she talks about the alleged advantage that he says he has. And she just clocked it right away that he was full of BS. And I love that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She's like, get this guy out of here, bro. Like, absolutely not. And then Kian, we get the next morning. Again, very straight, cutthroat edit. Kian says, she's feeling very vulnerable. She feels like she's on the outs. And this is where I need your take, Jason. If someone's eaten in your face, how are you feeling about them?
So frustrated. I am so surprised that no one confronted her about it and got loud.
Yeah.
because Keon's reasons for not sharing were terrible. Well, there's a lot of crumbs and I don't want them blowing away in the wind.
Yeah, that's why she's eating like this. What, girl?
It's horrible. It was a very bad decision on her part, but I don't think it was a bad enough decision to make her a big target to get voted out.
Yeah,
I think it was just an excuse, but I did not think she handled that the right way at all. Like we've seen in other seasons of Survivor, when you have a reward that you're keeping secret, go eat it in the jungle. Eat it when no one's looking. Don't rub it in people's faces, right in front of them.
Yeah,
pulling things out of your bag.
Like did that, right? He ate the 2 granola bars or whatever while Sean was showing the rest of them around in Zomba 2.0. Mm-hmm. But so you really see Varda is like pissed. She's like, this is ridiculous. Santony like flips off the camera, which is, I feel like that's exactly the confessional I would have given. So because it's annoying. Like I was like, what are you? At least share with Santony who's on the outs, right?
But I will say I'm loving the conflict driven by food happening so frequently in this season. It's really giving me old school Survivor vibes. And I'm just happy to see it and that it's causing issues and divisions amongst their tribes.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because I think usually we'll see one right per season where it's like, oh, this happens. Mm-hmm. And this happens and then we'll figure it out from there. But like, oh my God, it's like every time Paul, Anila, and now Kian, like they're really coming for you. Just please be a good person and share. I'm an only child, but I know that if I go on Survivor, I gotta share everything. I'm like, you want like a bite of my rusk? Please eat it. Even though it's like very hard to share, but it's okay. And then we also get, so that's like the Kian moment. And then Anila also is again, Warpath, where we get from Warda that he is Chappie's kind of like friend, left hand, whatever. So that is why she's kind of putting all of her frustration on him and he's a target. So those are the two that are kind of, on the chopping block here. It's pretty obvious. And Anila also stressed that he's going to get outed for his no vote. And then Kian, sorry, I don't know why I brought that. Oh, and then the last piece about food, Kian drops all the food. Oh no!
This broke my heart.
Oh my God!
She spilled the rice. It went everywhere, and she must have been very distraught emotionally because why would you pick up a hot pot with your hands when you've been using the hammer, like a hot stove? A hot pan on the stove. Why would you grab it with your bare hands? You are not a superhero. I know she's a firefighter and she is tough, but come on, Kian, what were you doing?
That really broke my heart, I will say, because I don't know. I felt like she is better than that, if that makes sense. But again, they're just very much, she knew she was on the out. She's like, no one's talking to me. I think from the start she said that. So, and then she picked up every single piece of rice. Kian, I'm so sorry.
She was grasping at straws, but I was so impressed with her persistence. She was not going to stop doing this. She was sorting those rice through the sand, running it through water, saying, I am here. I am helping us eat. Don't vote me out.
Mm-hmm. And technically, I think if it was between Anila and her up for elimination, I do think Anila would have gone over her.
100%.
So I very much agree. It was really hard to watch, but it's okay. And then we're going to go see New Vuna. And we see our friend Chappie's in an orange Speedo. First, I know that maybe, Jason, this is not something you care about, but like Chappie's has no hair. Like, did he do laser? Because I was like, with a body, it's a very swimmer's body, which I was like, maybe he is a swimmer and we don't know about it. But I just wanted to say that piece. And then we can go back now. Rhaenyra and Chappie's, Jason.
Well, I was going to say, if someone does know the answer to Chappie's body grooming, add us. Post it in the comments at Chappie's when we post this podcast. We want to know the truth.
Yeah, because to me, I was like, this looks like a swimmer's like body. So I was like, is that why, we were getting the Baywatch Baywatch Chappie's moment?
We know another show is on your mind. We might hear about it later on. But we get to New Vuna, and Rhaenyra and Chappie's are having this conversation. And in this
Yes.
moment, I realized how much of a threat Rainier really is. Because not only was he gaslighting Chappies, he was gaslighting me. Because when he said this game is 80% physical, I paused my screen and tweeted it. Rainier thinks this game is 80% physical? What? And then he's like, that's just what Chappies wants to hear. I fed him everything he wanted to eat, so he thinks I'm in his pocket. He thinks I'm his minion, and I'm going to take my minion sword and cut his head off.
Yeah. Oh, what a moment.
Whoa.
Again, if Rainier wins, this will be in that like in winner's package, right? Yeah, in the montage, because wow. Because he says, one, I know Chappies cares about a physical threat and he wants a trustworthy ally. Those are two things this man cares about, period. So first of all, to clock that, with the person this is the first time he's met Chappies, because they've always been on opposing tribes. Rainier, like, teach us relationship building because he is so good at it. Also, I know this comes out later, but because we're talking about the two of them, they both have expecting wives back at home, which is also, I was like, are they going to talk about this? Because like, this is going to be even better for their like 2-person alliance.
I think we might hear about it later on in the season.
Yeah, I hope so.
I just wanted to say also that Rainier blindsided Chappies so much that Chappies even said, this is a social experiment, not a physical experiment. Come on.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, he's my minion, And then it cuts to Rainier saying, yeah, he thinks I'm his minion. I'm not. So it was just, again, perfect. It's almost like what Chappies did to Santony, right? And which is still paying off. Versus now Rainier is almost doing that to Chappies because, again, he knows that the merge is coming up. Now it's going to be an individual game. He needs a strong person on his side, and Chappies is most likely going to win a lot of these like physical challenges. So good on you, Rainier. Like, kudos. Like, you get a lot of points for that.
Rainier is really playing the game well. He's doing a great job.
And he's not playing hard, if that makes sense. To me, like, I feel like Rainier is very much like, he's playing the game, he's smart about it, and like, he's just making all the right allies that he needs to. And
he's doing it very humbly. And that's something very different. Usually people who are playing that style of a game are very boastful with a big ego, and he is just so chill, and no one is sussing it out yet.
Yeah, and if anyone watches Big Brother 23, we'll see like the opposite of Frenchie, who is very much like a boastful human being, like Hot Mess Express. So I appreciated this a lot. And then we get to the immunity challenge and reward, which it's like Survivor's really trying to yada yada all of this. Yeah. Where I need to know, Kian, what a great moment of her whispering to Nicole and Marisha that she's like, please help me out. I need help.
I was really impressed.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead, please.
I was going to say, Kian is trying to be there. She is fighting so hard to be in this game. And I wish the editors would have shown us this side of Kian earlier in the season because I was just living for what she was bringing this episode. And I feel like she was the whole season and we just weren't seeing it on our screen.
Yeah, I follow Kian on Twitter and like, she was tweeting about like unpurple Kian. And I was like, yes, that's so real because for this, there's no way all of a sudden she decided to, say that. Like that's a risky move because you could really get in trouble. But anyway, those two girls, what did you think? Did you think they would save her? Because to me, I was like, are these two really going to save her? Like, I don't think these two are the ones to ride for you, girl.
I thought they would save her because who else would they save? They've already saved Smash. I didn't know you could send someone twice to Immunity Island. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, well, they're not, going to send Kieran. They're not going to send Tyson. They're not going to send Warda. It was a good move on Kian, being strategic.
Yeah.
And no one else saw. She did not get called out like Dino did.
Not at all. So, yeah, I agree with you where I was like, I don't trust them, those two. That's why I wasn't sure. But I didn't think that you could send anyone else. I was like, oh, she's fine. She's going to win. Wrong. And
what did you think of the reward?
Oh my God.
This was a Mexican feast.
Yeah, I actually wrote in my note, which I don't mean to sound so negative, but like to me, I was like, aren't those nachos gonna get soggy? Like, they don't look good to me. And I was like, you could do better. Have a picture of it, and then have them prepping it in the back while the challenge is going on or something. I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of sad.
I initially had the same reaction because I was like, that's it? How is that one plate going to feed all of them? Realizing later, spoiler alert, that's the plate that Smash got at Immunity Island. So his cheese had been sitting out in the sun, but I think they got fresh food in the reward when they were at that feast table.
Yes. That makes sense then, because I was just like, this looks kind of pathetic. Like, I would not die for it.
The biggest question that I had about this when Nico was telling us what they're playing for, burritos, nachos with cheese, quesadillas, he said a tomato onion salsa. And as someone from Texas, we both used to live in Oklahoma. Salsa's everywhere. I've never in my life heard someone say tomato onion salsa.
Yeah.
Have you?
No. And I think this is very much just like, the salsa that is, which I think is what salsa is, but the cut up like veggies, not necessarily the sauce salsa.
Like
that's what I think. Pico de gallo. Thank you. Obviously, I don't eat enough Mexican food, but yeah. So to me, that's what I think he was talking about, because that does have tomato and onions in it, and some bell peppers. More sense. Yeah, this is where I watched the show Below Deck, and like the chef like tries really hard. They're on a yacht, like always. Every single chef will always be like, and seasoned with a little bit of kosher salt and, cracked pepper. And I was like, but isn't that like just normal? Why does that need to be part of it? Or if they like do like Indian, food, they'll be like, and some turmeric and some garam masala. And you're like, what? That's literally the most normal thing. That's like salt. You just need to add it.
Yeah, it's like, why are you listing all the ingredients?
Yes. And I get very annoyed by it. So it's really funny that Nico said that. But Nico had another moment, because now you see the challenge. And this is where I was thirsting for Nico a little, because Santini just lost it. And then did you see Chappie's? You could tell he wanted to hug her.
I wanted to hug her.
Yes. Santini like had some PTSD from the challenge before, rightfully so. Right, I don't know how to swim. So like, I wouldn't. But I'm not afraid of the water. Like, I have jumped in like deep ocean water with a life jacket on, but poor Santini, man, she lost it. And then we get a Nico heroic moment. I will save you. What did you think? Would Jeff do this?
There's no chance Lord Jeff Probst would do this. He does not jump in to save people. He's like, oh, they'll help you. Someone jump in there.
Yeah, I feel like Jeff would be like, the production is here. Like, don't worry.
I loved seeing this side of Nico, showing the empathy he has, the bonds he's building with the contestants. Because earlier in the season, we've seen him really giving it to them.
Yeah.
Telling them to do harder. We've seen it in previous seasons where he loves giving them grief. And Santini has just taken his heart. They have this bond. He sees how much she wants to be there and is going to boost her up. And I hope he acts that way the rest of the season and encourages everyone in every challenge.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool, because he was pretty stern still. Like, I appreciate that he wasn't like babying her, but he was very much like, no, you need to try, like, you'll be fine, and like, I will come and help you. And she did it, right? She swam. So
she did.
It's fine. Santini, you go, girl. You effing did that, girl. And then, they kind of swim. I do want to talk about just really quickly, because they get these pillars, whatever. Why is Zamba such a mess? Why couldn't they just put the pillars into the holes?
They couldn't figure it out. I think it's because they don't have Sean on their team, who is, such a good communicator and can see things out, as we learned a few episodes ago. I don't really know. They're horrible in this challenge. They could not get it together. And I thought Luna had a great strategy. You lay them out on the ground, you see which one's the tallest, and you put that in the farthest peg. And it worked.
And can't you just see what the other team is doing and then like pause and be like, okay, let's take a breath? Because I don't know, this was miserable, where I even put in my notes, like, are they just not strong enough? Is that why they're struggling? Because I don't know how heavy those things are. And this physically, Vuna is definitely the stronger team, because what a pathetic performance. And second question, did it need to be in an order? Like, is it like the pegs only fit into certain holes?
Yes.
Because I was like, just do whatever and just climb it.
I think they might have actually all fit in each hole, but they had to be in a certain order.
Got it. So they did need to be in a certain order. Because to me, I was like, towards the end, you could probably jump a little and, make it through. But oh my God, this was pathetic, Zamba. Yeah. Like, y'all deserve to lose that.
But I did notice in this part of the challenge, contrary to past episodes and challenges, Chappies was being a team player.
Yeah.
He was listening to his teammates. He was taking directions well and not arguing with them.
And he was not in the front in the same way, which is good. That's how you need to be, where I think he was kind of like, use me. And I saw Marisha kind of being like the in the front person. But I know that they just like really see her as like this beast, which she is. So I like that for Chappies. Like, it's raising his stock a little bit. Yeah. And he still has that advantage, right? Oh, well, it doesn't matter anymore. This was the last time he had the advantage because they're going to merge after. And then, sorry.
I was going to say, this was a hard challenge, I thought. Getting up there and then lifting that metal ladder up, that took 3 of them to do.
Oh, my God.
It was not light.
Yeah.
And then getting to the top. What did you think about it? Like, would you have been able to lift that ladder?
Oh, you and I both know how weak I am. For everyone else, like Jason and I would set up for Friday night like dinner services, and he would be like, just lift it. And I was like, what do you not understand? That I cannot do this, like physically cannot lift this. It was like that circle table too, because the rectangle one I could move, but that circle one was my nemesis.
And I do want a point of clarification. Our former employer where we worked had tables from the 1970s and 80s. So they literally weighed 20, 30 pounds. They were not like these modern lightweight tables like you have today's world.
Yes, and like the amount of times we've been pinched and like the wood and like splinters we've gotten from those stupid ass tables. But anyway, so I am weak. I know this, but I would work out before I went on like any of these shows, but I'm still weak.
That probably happened to them though when they were lifting those poles and pulling the metal up. Their hands were clamping. They were getting splinters. It was really uncomfortable.
Exactly. And another fun Dino moment. Did you see him scale the wall to get to the other side? This man literally, as soon as Vuna came up, Nico goes on the side of the wall and just like runs over like and then like Spider-Man, and then goes to check what Zamba's doing down. And I was like, no, wow, what? Like, someone gift that because it's so good. And I was like, Nico's just killer, man. And then, because Vuna had such a big lead, Vuna is like killing it. Rainier kills the puzzle. That's a hard puzzle to do.
It was such a hard puzzle. I was expecting it to be like the tree or the fire. Yeah. This was enormous. There must have been over 50 pieces.
Yes,
and it took a long
matched.
Time.
Exactly.
Nothing matched.
No, and it's and it's a circle, so like things could, this like the not clear, smooth sides could be on any, like it could be anywhere.
And when Zamba finally got up there, did you hear Nico say, "Oh, the absence of Dino is evident now"?
I was like, why did he drag? I literally put that in my notes to bring up because I was like, they are dragging. Yeah. Like, I was like, Nico, don't do that. They're already losing the challenge. And could you imagine if they would have come back somehow? But they were so behind.
I thought for just a moment there was a chance when they got up there and Rainier hadn't finished the puzzle yet.
Yes.
But shortly after that, it was over. I thought it was a blowout. Vuna is just such a stronger, this configuration of Vuna is so much stronger. They have such cohesive teamwork.
Yes.
They're all on the same page and they're just winning everything.
Exactly. Very much agree on that. And then, and then Vuna wins again, of course. Wow, so shocked. And then we get Immunity Island. They're discussing what's going on. I was really angry in my notes. I put OMG, these losers. I was like, why smash again? I didn't think they could send the same person back to back. What happened?
Indistinct chatter.
Yeah.
As we saw, in the closed captioning, that's all that's happening. I had no idea either. We hadn't heard Nico say you can't send someone twice.
I thought he did say that. That's why I'm confused. But I did not do the research. I'm sorry. I will do research next week and I will come back. But I really thought you couldn't.
My heart broke for Kian in this moment because everyone there knew she was getting voted out. And Smash was just so happy, and he played it so cool. Because if I would have been him, I probably would have been like, yes, or like beating my chest or something, because you're making it another day.
Yes. I'm telling you, everything about it, I was shocked. I was like, just give her a chance, you losers. But no dice for you, Kian. Like, they screwed you, and I hate them too. And then let's talk quickly about Immunity Island before we go to the reward, even though I know it happened after. Smash goes to Immunity Island. I thought it was really sweet. I was like, oh, he gets like a day off. Maybe that's why they were okay with sending him again, because like it wasn't really an advantage necessarily. It was just like he got the reward. The Mexican food also looked better here. Again, I will say a little better.
And he did have an entire pitcher of margarita for himself. He did not have to share it. So he's having a great day.
Oh my God. First of all, imagine getting a pitcher of margarita by yourself with like basically no food. You're zooked. Like, you're done. Oh my, and like, I went to a bachelorette this weekend. That's why I'm saying it. Like, I cannot imagine. And then you see his family on. I thought that was really beautiful. I appreciated that he also got the reward. I don't think it takes anything away from the game for him to also win it. And we know he loves to eat. So good on him. And then he's like, I thought I heard my brother's voice. Do you think they did that on purpose? Because what the hell?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Because maybe some surround sound, some speaker was in the back, because he turns and he's like, my brother's coming. I don't know what happened. And then I started freaking out. I thought, he's getting the extra special reward of like a loved one's visit. And then the little parchment is waiting for him. And then our friend goes on a little adventure, Jason, around Immunity Island. What did you think?
I thought it was really fun. We haven't seen this type of adventure yet, going clue from clue on Survivor in so long.
Yes.
And when I heard, that he was going to the sign for the last to find something, in my head, I thought, Santini already found it. He's going to keep looking, and there's nothing there. And I was happy I was wrong. I kind of wanted him to just keep looking and break the sign apart, looking for an advantage. But it didn't happen. He got something. He got something, an advantage with a new title.
Yes.
Do you like it?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. Again, I don't know that it changes, the game so much, especially that now that they're going into a merge. It could, like, I was honestly trying to do the math, like, he takes away 2 votes, but he still doesn't have a vote. So like technically I still think Kian would have been screwed unless they got someone, Santini to flip or someone else to flip, but taking away 2 votes, I don't think would have saved anyone.
And because he went to Immunity Island twice, he has yet to have his tribal council where he has no vote, correct? So at the upcoming merge vote, instead of there being 12 votes, there's only going to be 11 votes. I'm thinking about this for the first time right now.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Because it's like, do you think, sorry, here's the question, okay?
Because it carries over.
No, I don't think it carries over, right? Because he didn't.
Because he lost.
You're right. Because
challenge.
Twice he didn't get to vote because he went to Immunity Island. Those are the 2 that he just did. So now he's not voting at the merge, and he's gonna steal 2 votes, but he's not voting. That's messy. And do you think Immunity Island is still gonna be a thing at the merge?
I saw online Immunity Island, it's unconfirmed, goes until final 9.
So that means that person also won't have a vote. So there's going to be, that means that there's going to be 2 less votes, not 1.
So there'll be 10 votes at the merge
instead of 12. Or instead of 11, let's say.
Oh, I can't wait.
Ooh, so 10 votes, and then 2 of those can be stolen by Anila. Oh, I hope he plays this well. Because that is huge. Because then because the majority is 6, right? So he just needs 4 people.
And it's going to be split 6 for 6 when we get to the merge. So I am so eager to see what happens next. And hope it's just a spur of advantages. And I think once he does something, Tyson's going to play his idol.
Yep.
And chaos will ensue.
Yeah, because Tyson has only one idol left. Yeah, so I was gonna say maybe there's two, but no, only one idol. Santony still has another one. Oh, this is gonna be wild. If Santony's part of this discussion, she's so smart that I hope she can get something going from that as well. So we're hoping for that. Anyway, it was really sweet. And yeah, he went on a little thing, and that wraps up Immunity Island for us. And then we can go to the Mexican food reward. Jason, were you expecting these really sweet messages?
No, it was a complete blindside for me, and I was loving it. I was so happy. I'm a very family-oriented person. I have an FOE tattoo, and I was so happy they got to see their loved ones.
Yes.
In video. I also think it means they're not going to get an in-person loved ones visit after the merge.
Oh, because yeah, COVID, probably not for any other reason. Oh, that's a bummer.
The other thing that stood out to me about this was how much food they got in this reward. It's like these.
It was a merge feast.
Yeah, they get 2 merge feasts now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. And that to me is unfair. All of these people now have such full stomachs. One of them is going to win the next immunity challenge.
Yeah. And if one of them doesn't win, we should clock this also, that who wins the next immunity challenge, because that's going to be huge. Also, plus, will there be a reward challenge before the immunity challenge? Because that also, now there's possibility of 3 times food, like Mexican food, then merge feast, and then the reward challenge before immunity. So there's a possibility of, right, like if a Chappies wins the reward, he now has 3 of those.
Wow.
So let's see. Or Marisha even. Marisha is like probably a strong contender to win individual immunity. I can see it. But they're going to be on a poll, so maybe not. Maybe like a Tyson might be. Or an Isu maybe are better.
Oh.
So let's see. But anyway, I loved it. The only thing, I wanted to highlight really was Sean was going and hugging every single person. What a kind human. Like, we know we love Sean, but even more now, I feel like we love him.
Yeah, I agree. He's playing a great social game. It's showing how good of a person he is. And he said he wants to win the money for his mom. And I really loved that. The other thing that stood out to me the most from this part of the show was when Rhaenyra was talking about seeing everyone else's reaction to their loved ones and how they're connected to their families at home. And that just showed me another example of how perceptive he is. And he is noticing everything they're doing.
He literally said tears and no tears because Amy didn't cry, which also I don't think I would cry. So I think Amy's like the first person in the history of these shows that hasn't cried, I feel. So Amy, because I always feel like people are going to think I'm heartless because I'm going to see like videos of my family if I go any of these shows and I'm going to be like, oh, that's so cute. I miss them.
In Amy's defense, they were talking about how messy she is and how the camp is probably a mess because you're there. And that wouldn't make me cry.
But
so
that's
I
my
understand
family
why
too.
she did it. Yeah, that's
my
true.
family would say that because I'm very messy also. And it's really funny because Nicole's boyfriend, right, also said, I hope you're playing with people's minds out there. I would be so mad if my husband said that. I'd punch you. What's wrong with you? That you're sitting here dragging me and exposing me like that.
And it's a good thing it's not an in-person's loved one visit because I bet he would be running his mouth the whole airplane there, increasing Nicole's threat level.
Yes, 100%. Yes. So that's why those are a few more where everyone else was really nice. I hope Rhaenyra and Chappies like kind of talk about their low-key pregnant wives that no one can know about. And then Nicole and Amy's family, just savages. Why y'all do this? And then we go to pre-tribal. This is where it starts getting wild, people, where Santony is still trying to bond, I feel like, Jason, with the group. And, she's talking a lot about, like, I still want to, like, trust you. I'm trying. I played my idol, la, la, la. Did you feel like she was coming off as paranoid?
Yes.
Tell me more.
I felt this was the first time we've really seen her be that paranoid.
Yes.
And Kieran was not having it. It was like annoying him, her level of paranoia. He's like, we are together. Why are you so worried? And Tyson was having similar vibes. And I feel it's maybe because Santony is older than them.
Mm-hmm.
She has more life
Oh,
experience. She's like, are these younger people going to keep me safe again?
right.
They've already
Oh.
used me. I got them an idol. I played my idol. I'm a big threat. It would make
Mm-hmm.
sense for them to vote her out.
Yeah,
And
it
she's,
does because they still have the majority,
yeah.
even if they did. But
And I was really surprised in this moment, not to like get a couple minutes ahead, but we saw Kian talking to Tyson. We see Kian talking to Kieran. We see her talking to Warda. Why isn't
yes.
she talking to Santini and Warda together? The three of them could vote together and take out Kieran or take out Tyson. And we see Santini and Kiki have a great bond. They are
Mm-hmm.
such friends. Why aren't they working together? If Santini is questioning Kieran and Tyson's loyalty, why wouldn't she work with Kian and Warda? I was missing something here. I don't know. Do you know why?
Yeah, that's literally in my questions where I was like, why isn't Kian trying like something? Why isn't Warda being like, so Warda even says, right, like that she's like, Kian has zero social skills, which I think is so disrespectful to say because it's not that she has zero social skills. You're all really hungry and like you're, not being your best selves for sure.
Yeah.
But to me, can't you still trust her over Santini, who's like legit screwed you over and over again? So I agree that I thought it was going to switch to Santini.
I was really nervous. I have in my notes, I'm nervous for Santini.
Yes.
I was getting anxious. I was thinking she's so Santini, who is so aware, can see that they
Yeah.
can easily vote for her.
And not only is she so aware, she's also good at like using that knowledge to it for her advantage. But I think
Yeah.
from what I'm noticing is like she does need a strong number two to like kind of ground her, and which is
Yeah.
weirdly Chappie's is that like strong number two that like kind of she's like, okay, I know this person I can trust, like this person holds me down, so now I can like fly and do what I gotta do to like make sure things happen. So I don't know if that's what she's missing. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
It was not like her character, I mean.
No, I agree. And I thought she misplayed in her reaction to seeing Kian and
Yes.
Warda having that conversation.
Yes.
Instead of being nervous and saying to the guys, do you see them? What's happening? I feel Santini should have walked over to them, created those bonds, and said, do we want to mix it up? Because clearly Tyson and Kieran are each other's number ones.
Yep.
They're going to vote with each other over Warda or Santini every single time. And I was just so surprised that topic of conversation did not come up, because to me, it would have made them vote together.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is it because like Warda is so on a war path and Tyson and Kieran are still more loyal to Warda than they would be to Santini? That's what at least I feel.
Yeah.
Like as in them as a unit. I think Tyson by himself maybe not, but them together, are going towards Warda, that she's a little bit afraid of, kind of starting shit and then them it coming on her, like basically, and then being like, you know what? Santini is annoying. Like, let's just vote her ass out. So that's why I feel like she was a little bit more trepidatious than she should have been. Yeah, because I also thought that through, where I was like, why don't the girls kind of get together? But I really think that Warda has like kind of, like her revenge tour has been very obvious. So Santini just doesn't want to be in the crosshairs of that.
And because I am such a Santini stan, I was getting really nervous that the edit was misdirecting us.
Yeah.
And they were showing us all these reasons why Kian would get the votes and we would get blindsided.
Yeah.
So I was just so nervous going into tribal council, seeing what was going to happen next.
Oh my God. Same. And that's where I was a little, but I was like, no, I think they like are good. They're straight and narrow on their edits. And then, Santini said she wants them all to be together, and needs to figure out how to not feel like the fourth wheel anymore. And then Kian knows that she's going home. And then Tyson, I feel like this is gonna play for the in the next episode, where he said Zamba 1.0 is always going to be loyal to Zamba 1.0, so we got to take them out and be careful with them. So I think this is going to hold true and kind of hold together for the merge.
And I think it's another example of Tyson thinking about the long game.
Yes.
He's not just approaching it for this vote out. He's thinking in the future, 4 or 5 votes from now, what's going to make sure he's still in the game. And Kian would go right back to working with Sean if she had the chance. We know they're tight.
Exactly. So I think Tyson clocked it, and he was not letting that group, I think, falter at all. And then we get to Tribal, where it just really broke my heart, where Anila finally came back. So here's my question for you. If Anila was there, Kian was there, do you think they could, sorry, not knowing what was about to happen after with Kian fighting, let's just say, currently no arguments. Like, do you think Anila with this 2-vote situation could have worked something out with Santini and Kian?
I think he could have. Easily possible in the realm of possibilities. I don't think he's the right player to make that move.
No.
If it had been someone like Dino, he would have definitely mixed it up like that. But I think Anela was just so happy to be there. He knows the merge is coming soon and all of his allies are on the other tribe. He didn't want to rustle any feathers to mix it up. He just wanted to wake up tomorrow on the beach.
Yep. Exactly. I agree with you. And that's why it goes into like the meat of the Tribal, where there's very much like Kian is saying, the Zamba OGs like him more than me. He's protected. I am not. And she's like going in on him. And I was like, do you know that he can't get voted out? Like, why are you doing this?
I was so confused when this was happening. Because he has a necklace around his neck. It's not like it's even hidden. And she's putting all of her energy to put a target on him when he's immune. And I was just so confused with her gameplay. I think she was staring into the fire for too long. It just kind of messed up her game plan.
That's exactly it. Because I was watching her and I was like, girl, like but there's no reason, for her to do that. I was like, you're better than this. You're smarter than this. We've seen you play better than this. And why not? And you're just screwing him for the next, Tribal when you're going to be gone. So like, why do you need to do that? And granted, she didn't know that he had, any advantage, but like, shouldn't you always, like in my mind, I'm always thinking he might have an advantage. How do I get him to use it with me? How do I get him to help me out? How do I get him to do that? So that's another reason why I personally would not, piss him off. But she was going against him. And I think she was trying to say, I'm not Zamba strong, but wrong person to do it with. And then Kian, is kind of talking about that. And then she's saying, Rainier and Vuna 3.0 are still, with him, blah, blah, blah. Like there was a lot of like iterations, like a lot of tech, I feel like app upgrades that they were like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. It was a lot. And then Anila, I was like, oh, you don't have the good rebuttal where he was like, look at all the relationships all of you are building, and Kian should have built better relationships. What do you think?
I think Anela had a big picture of Margarita before he got to this tribal council because he was pitching the wrong arguments. He was very confident with his ego with that necklace around his neck.
Yes, very much that, because he's just talking about, I care about these tribes. I was like, but they don't care about you, so what does it matter? And then, Varda again going in on him. This is where Varda and Kian, I feel like, were bonding. So again, why did Kian try to talk to Varda more? I don't understand. But yeah, they both started attacking Kian. They both started attacking Smash, but then Smash was like saying weird stuff back. I just felt like it wasn't working.
And I thought it was interesting. Can't remember off the top of my head hearing them talk about nothing is free in this game. Someone is always coming to collect your debt. And that was just an interesting terminology. I never thought about the game that way because I feel Rainier guiding Anela to Immunity Island was not to get a debt paid. It was to save his ally. He's not expecting Smash to come back and be like, look what I found at Immunity Island that I'm giving you. You, my savior. And so I just thought it was interesting. And I'm curious if those phrases are going to keep showing up in the merge and they're going to be talking about the debt collectors as the season goes on.
Yeah, I do think that makes sense because I'm wondering if Zamba 1.0, now Vuna 3.0, right? Sending Smash, almost to collect, right? Like you said, collect the debt to say, hey, we sent you twice, you owe us. We basically saved your ass twice. So you owe us, you owe us, you owe us. And like, if he tries to falter, will they try to like be like, nope, you're with us, because that's what I could see happening. But I just think they just like him more than Kian, unfortunately.
I could see Marisha playing that card.
Yes. Oh my God, that's exactly what I was about to say. I can see only her. I don't think anyone else. I could see how Dino nicely, but could have said a version of that. But I think besides those two, I think Nicole is just a little like, that's not how her gameplay is.
I did really appreciate the next part of Tribal Council is when we were talking about Anella's fragile, battered ego, and the look on his face when they were talking about it was priceless. I wanted to take a screenshot of it because he did such a good job keeping his emotions inside and letting his face do all the talking.
Oh, yes. He was trying to drag them, but he was like, nope, I can't do it. I don't have immunity for the rest of this game, so I can't, but I really want to kill him. So I thought that was really funny too. And then you could tell Nico was like he was like, okay, Tyson, what do you think now? And, almost trying to, like, the ship was sunk at that point. So Nico was like trying to get everyone to say their last goodbyes is what I felt like.
Well, and I loved when Kian said to Smash, well, that's exactly why you have an ego. You thinking that showcases your ego.
Oh my God.
Something else that stood out to me the most about Tribal Council is when Smash says nobody has ever played this game and aligned with everyone on the beach. Nobody works with everyone. That's not how it works.
You don't come in here having 15 people to align with or whatever the number was. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I thought to myself, did he not see last season of Survivor South Africa? Because that was literally Rob's strategy. He made an alliance with everyone. And at the merge, they all thought they were his number one. And that's how he was able to pluck them out. Like, watch the season, Smash. You would know this is a strategy.
And even if allegedly it wasn't the strategy, you can't say it out loud. This is that Margarita talking because, I was like, Smash, no, don't do this. And then they were just, I think, getting even more. That was like really riling Varda up where she was like, why are you talking like this? Why are you acting like this is so frustrating? It was really bothering her.
And I want to see them have a blow up at the merge feast even.
I could see it. A food fight.
A food fight.
She'd be like, you don't want to align with me? Here you go. Like some potatoes in your face. Oh, God.
That's the fan fiction we're creating over here.
Literally, follow us for more fan fiction. And then we kind of go into like Kiki or Kian's final goodbyes where Kian is crying at this point. And Nico was like, no, why? What's going on? And she's like, nah, I know it's me. Like, my name is written down. And then Tyson also was like, I just have the weakest bond. That really broke my heart when Tyson spoke for some reason. What about you? Like, we knew, but like, did you know?
Why did he need to say that?
Right?
It was just the icing on the cake. You can see how upset she is. Why would you just layer another thing onto her that we don't have a weak bond? I didn't understand it. And it didn't do anything for him. It didn't make him look cool or in the numbers that he was saying that.
Yeah. And the last piece of that also is that it's not jury, right? So you don't need to necessarily say that. I think you could have just been like, sorry, like, it's such a bummer how things shook out. Like, can't wait to get to know you out of here. Like, that's it. Just say that and be done with it.
And when Kian said, when she was upset, she was just sad that people got to see the real her and that she was there trying her best. It broke my heart. And it just made me so angry that we didn't see more of her in the 7 episodes she was in. Exactly.
We love you, Kian. Like, we really because you could tell, in the moment, she's strong. She's smart. She saw things for what it was. It's not like she was blindsided. She did have a misstep with food. For sure. I don't want to like excuse that. But besides that, I feel like she was pretty strong. She just like didn't, really swap screwed. And I think Dino leaving it was it.
I was also impressed with her level of composure throughout the game.
Yeah.
She was able to stay calm in almost every situation. And not everyone can say that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And even then, like, she wasn't like hysterical and, all of that. Like, I feel like she was very calm. She was very much like, it's me. And it's such a bummer that it's me. But that's kind of where, she was going, where I was like, oh my God, change your vote. Don't vote her out. Vote Anella out, please.
But even when the votes were getting read,
Oh,
I stood up out of my chair and was like, please don't be Santini. Please don't be
oh
Santini.
my
Because
God.
in the back
Imagine.
of my mind, on the very last row, I was like, they're messing with us. It's going to be a blindside.
No, you're not watching US Survivor. There's no way. Oh my God, imagine. I would have cried. I
Oh,
would be
me
like, no,
too.
no, 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 no. Because out of, again, Kian and Santini has the better like relationships to get farther. So
Yeah.
we can't risk that. Sorry, Kian. And unfortunately, Kian is the one to get voted out. She's gone. I mean, he only read 2 votes and he was like,
Yeah.
all right, it's you. Goodbye. Which was really sad. And Kian, you were great.
I did see on Twitter, I want to say, even though she did get voted out, she did celebrate her birthday this week and looked great. So I hope she had a wonderful birthday celebration. We're cheering for you.
Yes. And we hope, again, all these pre-merge come back for All Stars or something, or pre-merge, some like pre-merge episode season. And then before we get to your threat list, next time is going to be the merge. We've already talked about this, but we see a little bit of the it's like that standard poll, put your little pinky
your pinky toe, your toes.
Yeah, toes, your big toe in the slot kind of thing. I really think that Anisu has a good chance of winning. Tyson as well, but let's see.
I'm curious if there's going to be 2 necklaces next week. We have seen this in Survivor history with this challenge being the first one. They give a male and female necklace. I do agree with you. I think Anisu has a great chance to win. I also think Nicole could win this challenge. She is small in stature, but very agile. And I think Tyson as well. I just hope, please, Survivor South Africa gods, don't show us people's feet when they're hanging on that pole. That is the last thing we want to see. It happened with Jeremy Collins and Winners at War. It was gross. We don't want to see people's crusty, sandy feet. Please don't show it.
Yeah, and it's not like they're getting pedicures or anything, so it really looks a mess. But we don't kink shame, but come on.
But I will say I am so excited for the merge because
me too.
There's 12 people. It's an even number, and the way I have it written down, it is 6 for 6.
Yes, it is.
And I am so excited to see who gets the upper hand.
I think Chappies might be our friend that switches, and then Santini, but I think they're both smart enough to know that they'll still be at the bottom. So I think Santini's would be smarter than Chappies to be like, don't do that, Chappies, come on. So let's see how it all ends up. But I'm stressed for Vuna 1.0.
I agree. I think Rainier and his group have a lot stronger bonds. I've been calling them Rainier's Angels, where he has Marisha, Nicole, and Amy in his pocket.
Oh,
they will
right.
Do whatever
They're
going to
be back. Yep.
And then Rainier, Sean. He has Smash.
And he has Chappies now. And Tyson as well. Remember, because Tyson told him about the idol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And Kieran because of that proxy. So Rainier's set up, which goes into threat list. Who do you think is winning the game?
I think the biggest threats to win are no question Rainier, Tyson, Anesu, and I'm keeping Santini there because I love her.
Yeah. I love that. For me, it's Rainier and Santini. I can see Anisu as well, I will say, but I think those are the 3. I'm just stressed for Tyson, and I really see that he one misstep and he's kind of screwed because he really relied on idols.
I will say the other person I think has a good chance. She could have a good chance is Warda. If she's on that Natalie Anderson revenge tour, she can do it. She's a physical competitor. She can win challenges. She can find idols. I think because she's a fan. That's what I know about her.
Yeah.
And she's able to build relationships with people. And her and Anesu are day one yoga buddies. And if she can use that information that Anesu is feeding her, she could really go deep into this game. And I would love to see someone like her go to the end game. Yeah,
so exactly. And the question is Smash and then Santini, right? I think it's in her best interest to keep Santini until they strongly have the numbers, and then, you know, do whatever you got to do. So yeah, I think if she does that, where she can keep Santini and kind of, you know, keep that going, then keep Vuna 1.0 going, you're right. If she cannot, then I don't have high chances for her, I think.
It's going to be a wild finish. I'm so excited
Yes.
to see what happens.
It could definitely be anyone's game. Like, I could see Marisha being like just beasting it and making it through.
She
you
could
know,
definitely.
yeah, and Nicole, because, you know, she's so she loves to play with people's minds, as her boyfriend said. So with that, anything else from this episode, Jason? Perfect. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @TheRealJO, where I'm posting about all things Survivor. Not only Survivor South Africa, but Survivor Australia is starting this upcoming week. So there will be 4 episodes of International Survivor on every single week. I'm also tweeting about Big Brother 23, my disdain for French's spicy mustard. I hope he gets voted out next, as well as Marvel shows. If you saw the Loki finale and you want to talk about it, hit me up. I would love to hear what you thought.
Yes, love that. And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at funsize_04. I am now hosting a new show called Love and Hip Hop Atlanta on the RHAP Rahap Up. So go check it out. You don't need to be a fan of the show. You can like step in at any time and just follow along. I hosted it with the amazing Bryce Isaiah. What a fun time. So go check it out. We'll be on every other week, covering 2 episodes at a time. And I'll be on Monday for 90 Day Fiance, the Rahap Up as well, in addition to a few other things. So follow me on Twitter and you'll get to know more.
And Sasha, if we want to watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when is it on TV? When can I watch it? When should I set my DVR?
Love this. It's on VH1 Monday nights at 8 o'clock. Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to figure out what time. Yes, I believe 8 p.m. on Mondays. So you have a break from Big Brother. You don't have much else going on Mondays. Watch it. You won't be disappointed, because Jason just started watching it this season, and he's loving it.
It's great.
Yes. And with that, thank you everyone for watching another episode coverage of Silent Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Twitch as well. We're really trying to get to affiliate, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, comment what you liked about this episode. Who do you think is winning the game? How do you think Merge is going to go? And follow us along for more scripted reality TV. We are definitely having more stuff coming down the pipeline. We have a lot of Big Brother coverage as well with Isaiah and Sarah. So make sure you're following to keep up with us, I mean. And with that, thank you so much, everyone.